I would like to talk about guilt.
Mhm.
As a child of a schizophrenic parent, there's guilt on many levels.
Uh-huh.
Being able to do enough, feeling guilty that you're not perhaps doing enough, and um, also the guilt you feel when perhaps you express intense emotions or you're venting to somebody who doesn't understand this, and you're faced with comments like, but she's your mom, she's ill, why would you be angry at her,
Mhm.
why do you feel resentment, or why are you sad if it's something that she didn't choose, she's not doing this on purpose.
Mhm.
And there's an underlying, maybe I'm wrong in thinking this, but it's almost like they're suggesting, why aren't you a good daughter?
Mhm.
How can we process the guilt?
Mhm.
Because it's something that uh, I think we face on a daily level almost.
Mhm. Well, and I think a lot of people think in either or terms, like it's either that your mom is mentally ill or you're you have needs. It's both.
Right.
So a lot of people don't understand. Yes, she was mentally ill, and that's a tragedy. And it affected me in these ways, and I'm grieving about it. The trauma affected me in these ways, and I have grief about it. It's not either I'm taking care of her or me. It's both. It's both and. Even the local NAMI group where I am in Atlanta, Georgia, when I first started going to it, there was not a children and of a schizophrenic person or siblings because their stance was we're focusing on the person who's ill. Why would we want to focus on you? It's grown a lot since then, and everybody's come to see that it's everybody that needs help.
Right.
It's not either or. I know in my own family, I went to a family reunion about 20 years ago, and some of my cousins said something similar to what you're saying, which is she was mentally ill. How could you have a problem with that? And I said, well, it affected me and my sister too. Also, it's not, again, not either or.
Yeah, those comments are like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But
But people who haven't been through it, it's hard for them
yeah,
to wrap their heads around the whole picture, the totality of it. That's one reason I was hoping to write my book to have people say, "Oh yeah, I didn't even think about families and how hard it must be for them."
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. I remember an uncle said to me, how's your mom? And I said, well, she doesn't want to take a medication. Oh, Sandy, just tell her to take a medication.
yeah.
She'll be right.
All right. I mean, that's just a logical response. This whole dynamic is not logical.
And I told my brother, and we laughed so hard because
Right.
if it could be that easy,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah. So unless you've been through it yourself or you're a mental health professional who can relate to the family, I think it is really hard for most people to understand without education.